Welcome to another episode of the Caribbean Edge. Thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Dawn Wilson.
I'm Joel Nascimento.
Hi guys, I'm Cheryl Ann Marshall.
Welcome back, Joel. We're so excited that you decided to join us for another episode.
For sure.
And tonight's episode is on friendship. What does friendship mean to us? What does it mean to you, our viewers? And we're going to touch on a vast amount of topics surrounding friendship. So what does friendship look like for you, Joel? Let's start with you.
I think friendship to me is somebody that you are able to, apart from your family, I should say, that you're able to just share really your deepest, thoughts. You're able to vent about daily things and also interact in the daily, share those really things that you might have in common with a person, but it's that person that really listens to you and is able to give you that constructive criticism and, helps you see it from a different perspective. I think that's what the insight that I usually look to in a friendship and usually what I have today in my friendships.
Okay. I think a friend for me personally, and it's actually changed throughout the years. My friends from probably high school are completely different. My friends from college are different. And unfortunately, I am not in touch with most of those friends for whatever reasons, living in a different country. I do have one or two. But my friendships now at this stage in my life, I just find so meaningful. It's that person that's there for me that I can confide in, that I can trust, as much as you can trust someone with your secrets. And, you really have to think about that trust thing because, when you're friends, it's easy to think you can trust someone, right?
Correct.
But when that friendship goes south, you start to wonder, will this person betray my trust, my confidence? So I think trust is a huge factor for me to open up, to invite into my personal space, my home, around my family. I do have a couple friends that I can do that with, even though I know tons of people and they're not necessarily what I consider my close friends, that if I'm in a jam or I need deep conversation or to run someone by. A friend for me too is not someone that always agrees with me, but can disagree with me in a respectful way as well. And that to me tells me you care about me and you listen to me as well.
Well, funny that you would bring up agree to disagree. A friend to me is more someone who understands me, someone who can get me. You're not gonna agree with me on everything. I don't expect you to agree with me on everything, but I connect with someone who can understand where I'm coming from. I connect with people who can totally understand my point of view, even though they might not agree with it. They can understand what I'm trying to say and why is it that I'm trying to say it, or what is it that I feel and why is it that I feel that way. So for me, friendship is more of an understanding. And it's not just friendship, it's any relationship. My husband, my children, it's more of understanding to me than anything else. That is what is crucial, and that is what binds me to you. It's that understanding, that mutual understanding, because we're not going to agree on everything.
Absolutely not.
We're not.
So, who is your best friend? Do you have one best friend, and why is that person your best friend? What's so special about them?
I think both of you have really good points of what is friendship. I think a point that you brought up is that now that I'm getting a little older, I could definitely see that friendships evolve, come and go, and things change depending where you are in life. With that in mind, I think my best friend is definitely somebody that I have here. It's funny, his name is Ronnie Simon. I'm actually has come to watch this, and we're the type of friendship that we don't necessarily need to talk every single day.
Yeah.
And it's like every time we do talk, it seems like we never stop talking.
Good.
So I think he puts me in check when I need to hear things. And it's like that friendship that you build so many years, that he's seen you in so many different phases, that he's able to read you with the first few sentences you're coming from. So if I'm acting too, dramatic, he'll put me in check because he'll know automatically where I'm at.
Thank you very much.
And yes, men do act very dramatic too in our own little worlds. But I think one of the things that I really value from my friendship with him is that we start talking, we start telling about our businesses and things. This is also an entrepreneur. He has his own refinishing company, and he always is able to really identify where I'm coming from, no matter what stage I'm at.
Good.
And having that ability to tell me exactly what I need to hear. So I think I value that from him. It's something that only he has been able to do in my life.
Probably without judgment, right? A
Extremely.
friend that doesn't judge you, right?
Yeah, there's no judgment. It's that check that every once in a while that we give that valued person that we considered our best friend, that we put our guards down, because trust is such a big thing in a relationship, especially between friends. So we lower our guard. We're not so like, oh my gosh, what is this person really going to think of us?
Yeah.
So he's able to really give his honest opinion from somebody that he knows for so long, because time really teaches you. And that daily living that you have, he's able to really interpret where you're coming from. So I think it's so important that he gets you, he understands you, and he evolves with you throughout life, because we go through so many different stages.
Yeah.
But you have some of those friends, right, Sherilyn, that you haven't touched base with for years, and you don't have to talk to them every day, but they're still in your heart, and you can pick up the phone and call them.
And you just pick up right where you left off.
Yeah.
You basically pick up right where you left off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Like you said, he tells you what you need to hear, as opposed to what you want to hear.
Exactly.
I don't want friends that are going to tell me and feed me the bull crap about what they think I want to hear.
Exactly.
I want to hear what I need to hear. I want you to give me everything. I don't want you to sugarcoat anything.
Love that.
Yeah, and those are the people that I call true friends in my life. They're a handful. There are those that are from high school days, from childhood days. There are those that I connected with while working with them for many years that I can call true friends, because we've been through so much together. I can sit down and just chat with them about any and everything, and they're going to tell me what I need to hear. They're going to understand where I'm coming from, as opposed to feeding me a whole lot of B crap.
I think I have friends for different reasons. Like I can turn to different friends for different reasons. My brother in Turks and Caicos, Errol, he's one of my closest friends, and that's because he always has my back. I know he would be willing to take a bullet for me, and no matter what I do, he's there for me. My best friend, Paula Haas, we weren't childhood friends or anything. So it's so different, because she has a lot of friends, and she's a great person that has had a lot of her friends have been friends since they were little kids growing up. So we found that our friendship developed more in our, more youthful, tenured age, where the meaning of life has been so significant for us, and it's brought us so much closer that, that's that person you can't imagine not being in your life, and that's a real friend. I've had friends that I thought were really best friends, and for some reason she is the person that sticks out for me as the best friend, that if I say, who would you never ever want not to be around, it would be her. And we've had that conversation, because we're not just friends, we're more like sisters, where we're just never gonna be apart,
Correct.
Well, it's funny you would mention sisters, because I have sisters and we're very close. We are very close, but I have friends that I'm closer with. I have friends that I am closer with than my sisters, and I don't see anything wrong with that whatsoever. But it's just people that you've gone through certain experiences with, and you become so much closer because of those experiences, because they've been there for you. and they've shared it like wholly and solely they have shared it with you. So you develop that bond that is unbreakable.
Yeah.
Unbreakable.
So I know Bernard is very interested in the friends with benefits. Thanks for one of our viewers who has been talking about friends with benefits, and his definition is when two givers indulge in a connection, it's like magic. I want you to water me and I water you, never drain each other and just grow. So what are your thoughts on friends with benefits? Have you had friends with benefits throughout your path? Know of friends that have had friends with benefits?
I think it's a very complicated situation.
Mhm.
Very.
It's tough. It's tough to. It goes to so many things when it goes through, because when you do, I want to call this a partnership with somebody that both of you agree to become friends with benefits. One always loses. You just hope it's not yourself.
There's one feeling more than the other.
Yes. There is no way for you to avoid that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it, at least from my experiences. If there's somebody else that is able to, like, I'm not saying I want to see a friends with benefits that will last more than months.
Mm-hmm.
You go over that year mark,
Mm-hmm.
you have issues.
Mm-hmm.
One will expect others. There's one little thing that you keep from saying from each other.
Mm-hmm.
But friends with benefits, it comes directly into sex. You're in with a main interest to keep each other satisfied in that category.
Mm-hmm.
With time, when you're in a passionate relationship, especially involving sex that has so many emotions, one falls more than the other.
Yeah.
And in that act of it, you might end up saying the wrong thing because you're not always going to have your guard up.
Yeah.
And those special words that sometimes guys or even women try to avoid, saying "I love you" comes along and really could be the deal breaker automatically. And I've seen that happen to myself before, because you think you're so smart and you're doing the right thing that you're doing. You're like, oh, we're friends with benefits. Both of us are on the same page all the whole time. When in reality, one fell for the other more than
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
I can
anticipated
see
from the
that
beginning.
happening.
We're only
And that's
human.
only human, and it's totally normal, and I totally understand. And I think it's something that complicates it, because you have the potential of losing somebody really special in your life.
Yeah.
And I think that's the worst thing about it. So for me, friends with benefits is extremely complicated. It's the percentage of it not working out is greater than it working, unless you really are predisposed to finding out what the person's about as a precursor to a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, it might work, but all in all, it's kind of you're trying to keep yourself satisfied, call each other friends, and act like nothing's ever happening. But if you're from the same environment, you're interacting with each other, and your friends with benefits is hanging out, and you guys are partying day to day, and one feels some type of way, anything you do is catastrophic. I've seen it, I experienced it.
So if you are one that friends and benefits works for, then please chime in and let us know
I really want to hear from you.
Because we need your expertise on it.
I'm sorry. It might be working right now. It might be working for you right now, but it can't work forever. I'm sorry. It cannot begin to work forever. First of all, define friends with benefits. Why is it that you are basically sleeping with a friend of yours, a good friend of yours, because this is a friend, and you are having physical interaction with this person, but you can't give this person a commitment? Please.
But
That's
playing devil's advocate,
wrong.
we're commitment
That's
people.
wrong.
I
That's
think
wrong.
we are all three commitment
Yes,
people.
100%.
yes.
There are people that are not committed people that they're okay with friends with benefits. But I think, like Joel says, it may eventually turn into something else where someone else's feelings gets hurt. However, because we're emotional creatures and we're relationship people, based on what I know, then it's difficult for us to even relate to it.
When you say we, who are you talking about? Women?
No, just us,
In
based on
general?
what
Okay.
you're a relationship person,
Because there are
so,
men that would be more
yeah.
emotional about the situation
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. It's not just women. So I think it's a cop out. I think this friends with benefits is just a cop out from you not wanting to commit. If
Oh,
you're,
it
if
is,
you're,
I
yeah,
think
if
so.
you're basically close friends with someone and you want to have physical relations with them, why not have a full-blown relationship as opposed to a booty call, as opposed to a friend with benefit situation? I think it's a cop-out.
Yeah, or someone may have gone through whatever in their life and probably a hard breakup, and they're at a stage where that is convenient for them. They're
Yes.
not mentally looking for a commitment. So
You hit the nail on the head, convenience.
yeah, it is,
Convenience.
absolutely. So let's
Convenience.
see if anyone is chiming in and giving us any feedback on this interesting topic. Thank you, all the viewers, for logging in. A lot of hellos, so hello everyone. Clemencia, trust is very important, and that we agree with. And she also said that is a hard one. Thanks, Paula, for chiming in. Love you too. And Rosie, the fundamentals of friendship, characteristics, empathy, sympathy, affection, honesty, ability to be oneself, ability to express one's feelings, truthfulness, mutual understanding, steadfastness, compassion, trust, and sincerity. So those are all the things that mean friendship for Rosie.
Rosie, you basically summed it up, ability to express, right? Ability to express is basically communication. And it's what all friendships / relationships boil down to, communication, ability to express. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with communicating. Transparency, you cannot go wrong by being transparent. You cannot.
And Clemencia also said someone always gets hurt, and so did Andrew Nicholson. People catch feelings. So thank you everyone for chiming in on the interesting topic that we have going tonight on friendship. What about new friends versus old friends? Is there a difference? I think I hit on it a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a big difference. I think it goes more into the realm of old friends kind of earn it a little bit because they've been with you longer. At least for me, now that I'm getting older, I don't let just anybody into my life so easily. You kind of go through a mental checklist of what that person really, unfortunately, will add, or even if it's even worth it. You kind of like guide yourself who you really hang out with. I think I'm more selective as I age. That's something that I think that one thing that I always keep in check is I see sometimes I have up to like 800 people in my friends list on Facebook. Something really, I use it as a gauge to see where I'm at, but how many do I really talk to?
Actual friends, right?
Maybe 5.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very low percentage.
Mhm.
We could definitely see from that point. So when I look at old and new friends, I think new friends coming into my life, obviously everybody has a fair shot to becoming very close to me. I never take away that from anyone, but I think I'm more selective. I look at, and I also like I said, I only mentioned one best friend that I really consider. The rest I have close friends and they're amazing people. I'm not describing everybody, but new friends today, it's a lot tougher. I feel they're more like acquaintances. I have my base laid down, but I give everybody a fair shot for a long-term relationship and to develop into their real friend.
And someone said something to me which I found interesting along those lines. They said they had a lot of old friends and they don't need any more new friends, like their friend list capped out.
Yes, I've heard that.
So are you limiting yourself to friends? Because I have old friends or friends that I've known for a long time, and yet I have friends that I haven't known that long, or people that I'll meet and you just have this natural connection with whatever stages you are in life, that I find my new friends are adding so much value or a different aspect, or I'm learning from them in a different way than my old friends that, or more tenured time with them, that I feel a little different about it. But I understand what you're saying about old friends because you've known them for so long and you have that trust and communication and they know you well. But I'm a firm believer in all the new adventures and the new and exciting people that you meet in your life, to give them the opportunity to have that same relationship or connection, not even the same relationship because everyone is so different,
Yeah.
but just opening your hearts and your eyes to different people in different aspects.
Well, that's the key right there. You just said it. The same relationship. You're not looking for the same
Yeah.
relationship with
Right.
anyone. I personally, I connect with people who I feel a certain energy towards. I feel an energy coming from them. I feel a certain vibe coming from them. And I connect with them. I leave myself open.
Yeah.
I have really close friends from a long time ago, but like Joel said, I'm giving everyone a fair shot. I'm
Yeah.
giving everyone a fair shot. I can learn so much from anyone that I allow into my life. Why would I cut that off?
Yeah.
Why would I cut that off? There's so much to learn. There's so much that each person has to give. I am open towards that, and I want to give that back in return. I have old friends that I'm very close with. I have new friends that I am very close with, and I will continue to remain open to anyone that can actually come into my life and share what is it that they have learned to make me a better person today.
Yeah.
I'm very open
I
towards
love that. To
Yeah.
make us a better person,
Yes.
right?
I think so.
Yes.
So let me ask you guys this, and this is a toughie, right?
Mhm.
What would make you and a best friend go your separate ways? What would make a best friend an ex-friend? And I'm opening that question up to you guys. What could someone do to you that you would no longer want that friendship?
I think I think it's a very big topic, but I think
Yeah.
number one for me that it pops into my head, I think will probably be betrayal.
Yeah.
Not betrayal as in a relationship of like sleeping with my wife or thing like that. I think is betrayal maybe having the ability to know me with my guard down and my deepest secrets and exposing me.
So if they slept
Using
with
it
your wife,
against you.
Using against
Yeah.
me.
Using it against you.
so
You know?
if they slept with your wife or your ex,
No, it of course.
would you be comfortable with
No,
that?
of course not.
Okay.
But I'm saying like, if he's my
Even
best
if-
friend, because we're talking
Mhm.
about best friend issue, you know the integrity of that person, to what you feel is the best of your ability, and for that person, and you open up and you, like I said, for me, I always say, I keep on saying, keep the guard down because you really expose yourself, like your
Mhm.
weaknesses.
Yeah.
I think for me, it'll be probably one of the worst things that could happen to me by far, because like at that moment, you don't really have anything to shield yourself, because
Yeah.
he knows
Everything. Yeah.
you're exposed.
Yeah.
So what do? You succumb to something that you never thought would happen to you. So you're pretty much, wow, that happened.
Yeah.
You know, I think that for me would be the worst situation that I could think of out of the top of my head. Like bringing up my past, things I expose myself, not so much secrets, but things that you are not
Thank
so
you.
comfortable with.
Things that you confided
It's
in.
just, you
with
know,
them.
that
Yeah.
he put you in check,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
you're like, no, listen,
Yes.
bro, come on, that's not the
Yeah.
way.
Right.
You know better. We were
Right.
better,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then later on, like I come in, somebody, which has happened to me before, not so much with my best friend, but like other people that I was giving a chance to,
Mm-hmm.
and I will go to a certain scenario, a certain place, and I was the talk of the room of something that I confined to with that person.
Right.
And I'm
Wow.
like,
Right.
how would you know that if only one person knows?
Exactly.
So it's very easy to filter who was the person,
Yeah.
you know.
That
And
kind of
it was
betrayal.
probably one of the most disappointing experiences I've
Mhm.
ever been part of.
Yeah.
And
Once
hurtful.
that trust
And
is
hurtful.
broken.
Hurtful.
And hurtful. Very hurtful.
Because I think for men, it's like our first initial thing is like, I would get into a fight with this person to
Right.
confront them.
Right.
But like sometimes the pain goes so beyond,
Yeah.
depending what you confine
Mhm.
to that person,
Mhm.
that I think it takes a while to recover.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know.
and a lot of our viewers are agreeing. They're saying betrayal is big, and
Yeah.
definitely agreeing with that.
Mhm.
Some people are saying for too judgmental. Jealousy is another one that's being thrown out there. So sure,
Jealousy? Meaning?
of what would make a friendship end.
Mm. Envy, I think, is normal. I think people feel jealous. all the time. I don't think they can help it. I think envy is inevitable. I don't think they can help it.
Well, I
don't
think
I see it all the
maybe, and I
time.
don't know because Mish McLean is going to have to explain that one a little bit, but I'm interpreting it that the jealousy of one person over the next in the friendship, and that person becomes mean with it, or it becomes overbearing, or they say negative things, and your interpretation of it is going to
So-
be jealousy.
So will be jealousy towards success,
It
primarily.
could
Probably.
be.
Or-
It could be.
I,
Absolutely.
I think it's normal to feel a little bit of envy towards, even if it's your really close friend, of that person doing so much better than you are. It's human. I think when it becomes a problem is when you let that overpower your relationship with that person, and you become mean, like you said. You become
Yeah.
mean because of it, and you become distant because of it. I think a lot of things are human, and this is why, for me, I am very much able to put myself in another's shoes. Very much able to do that, even if it's a close friend that I feel is acting in a manner that should not act towards me, being a friend. I can easily put myself in that person's shoes and see why they might be feeling that way. And I want to talk it through. I want to talk it through as to why are you feeling this way and what is it that I can do to help you. But friendship it's such a deep word. It's such a deep word, and it has so many meanings to it that I value it. I value it way beyond more than maybe what I should value it, because I see it more as us being human and not being able to handle certain situations as we should. And it's more like it's like a relationship. It's like a marriage as well. Yes. So you I mean, just like how marriages go through counseling, I think there are some friendships that need that as well.
Yeah.
I think there are many things that I have seen over the years that I've gone through with different friends of mine where I acted in a way that I probably think that I should not have acted, and it's simply because of what I was going through at the time.
Yeah.
So you
It
have
makes a
to,
difference,
yes, you
yeah.
have to take all of that into consideration. It doesn't mean that I loved my friend any less. It just meant that I was going through so much of my own drama that I could not be there for them in that manner that I feel like I should have, or like what they expected me to be.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Good point.
I love
Yeah.
what you just said.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Because
do
let
too.
me tell you something that I experienced. The word that you said is timing.
Yes.
Mhm.
Even
Yes.
if it's the closest friend,
Friend.
that you have,
Mm-hmm.
timing
Yeah.
is so key, and it goes
Yeah.
through so many different phases in life. The timing,
Mm-hmm.
because even if it's that die-to-heart person that you tell everything, if that person is jobless and you tell them you just got a promotion,
Yes.
it's a killer in
Of
the heart.
course.
So the notion, that's something I learned with time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Me
I
too.
screwed up so many
Yes.
times of
Yes.
exposing myself at the wrong time.
Yes. Yes.
You have to take into consideration even to
Wow.
expose your feelings.
Yes.
So the person that you're with, it doesn't become a competitive situation. I've been
Exactly.
through that so many times in
Yeah.
my life of me saying, I just opened my company, I closed a $100,000 contract.
Right.
And the person's like, I have $20 in my bank account.
Yes.
But as a friend, you can't change their circumstances. But that's when a friend can say, I got you.
Yes, I
Of
totally
course.
agree.
Of course.
But yeah.
But I
the
don't think,
timing.
but I don't think that crappy feeling of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, you know.
Yeah,
So you
absolutely.
like you always like human nature and human life. It seems, especially with friendships, if people are close to you, the
Yeah.
timing is perfect.
Yeah.
I went through a certain situation with a friend of mine that she got a promotion, and her sister has been dying to get back in the industry that she's been away from for so long.
Right.
And I'm like, keep it to yourself. When
Yeah.
the time is right, you
Absolutely,
say
yeah.
it.
Of course.
Absolutely. That's
Of
great
course.
You know what I'm
advice.
saying? Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? What are you talking about? It's my family. I was like,
Yeah.
just because they're family
No,
doesn't take
doesn't
away
mean
from
that.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What they're going
You know,
through.
so
Exactly.
I think that timing of that situation is really what puts you in a point that you're like, okay, I could express myself.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can just go, but
Right.
just keep that in the back of your mind, because that timing that you said is
It
essential.
Yes, it is.
And Mitch
Yes, it
says some friendships can't be saved, and I agree with
Of
that,
course.
which is the question we have on the table now.
Of course, but
what
that
would
depends.
make you give up your friendship?
I don't think that's a question that I can answer to you, because there are so many circumstances that will surround every given situation. I cannot begin to tell you, even with a best friend sleeping with my husband, I cannot sit here and tell you that that person will never be my friend again.
Yeah.
I cannot.
And I think it's such a
I cannot.
personal thing because you have your own personal
Yes.
expectations.
Exactly.
For me, the same scenario.
Mhm,
If you slept with my husband, my boyfriend, even my ex-boyfriend,
Mhm.
that would be a problem for me.
Right.
Like that would make me not be your friend.
Right.
I can't be your friend knowing that you cross those lines.
Right.
That's not what a friend does to me personally.
Right.
That's
Right.
where I draw lines.
Right.
If you steal from me, and I'm not talking about stealing $1 or anything like that, but you literally steal a business idea, you stole from my children, stole from even a stranger that I don't know, and I find out that you are really a deceptive person, I'm for the underdog. I am going to have a problem with that. You know, I'm going to have a conversation with you, obviously, about it and make a personal decision. So, in general, those are things that I foresee that I just, when people hurt me deep enough, and it doesn't matter who it is, it could be a relative, it could be a best friend, I have a way of removing that person from my life. And it's probably to protect myself, because I want to surround myself with people that are positive, that are, and you don't have to be positive all the time, but that I can trust, because I'm trusting you with my heart, my space, and therefore if that trust is broken for reasons that I can't deal with, then I'd rather remove you and not speak to you ever again. And I'm 100% comfortable with that decision if it gets to it. And I don't discard people easily, but I also don't allow people to hurt me. And that is hurtful when you do certain things to your friends. So I have certain expectations for my friends and my heart and my space.
As you should.
Yeah.
Sure, everything's
As you
correct.
should. Yeah.
So let's see, anything else on your...
Let's see.
I see Andrew made a good point. Sometimes you outgrow the friendship. Sometimes
True.
when your person is more successful from the other one, and the other is achieving their dream and the other is still struggling, then one friend may feel jealous or push the friend away because they feel they are no longer on the same level.
I like that point.
Yeah.
You do outgrow some friends, and I don't think you when you outgrow a friend, I don't think you cut that person out of your life. That person is basically no longer in your life in the capacity that he or she once was. And that's all it is. It has happened to me. It has happened to me. And then sometimes you even down the road pick up right where you left off. Years go by where that person is no longer in your life in that capacity. And then all of a sudden they come right back in the same capacity that they once were.
Yeah.
So it happens. It's life's lessons. It's basically life's lessons. It's life's experiences that take you through all of these friendships / relationships with people that you encounter along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she also said that she liked what Cheryl-Ann said about putting herself in that person's shoe and talk about it.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
She also said, what if the administration, the friend paid off the administration to get their child in a certain school? Would you still stay their friend?
For an event.
So we know that's in the news, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that one.
Wow.
Because I definitely appreciate that comment. And, you know, having a student athlete, I can definitely see the hurt, because these young athletes work so hard to try to get into these elite schools, and you know another parent pays off the administration and they're given the opportunity, and they have no skills whatsoever as far as being an athlete. So definitely a good point.
Betrayal.
And it is betrayal.
I think it falls under betrayal.
Yeah. So we know that's in the news. So we thank you for bringing that up. Any other questions?
No, not at all.
Parting words?
Aye. Parting words for me is, really and truly seek to understand. Seek to understand, because so many of us, we're all going through so many things in our lives, and granted, we may choose different ways to handle that. And yes, I don't think anyone really wants to truly hurt another. So a lot of times what we may do to someone else is not necessarily reflecting on your relationship with that person, but it's basically because of what you yourself are going through. So I think you have to keep that. Yeah, have to keep that in your mind.
I think for me, when it comes to friendship overall, I think you need to choose well and just cherish who you have.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
much
love
that's
that.
I think for me is what I live by.
Yeah. And I love that. I agree with that. I kind of disagree with what Sherilyn said, which is, there aren't people that are out there to hurt, whether it's intentional or not intentional. I believe that people have choices to make on decisions and how you treat your friends. And that's why we all don't stay friends forever, because sometimes we outgrow each other, we disappoint each other, we have certain expectations for ourselves. So when someone does something and it doesn't meet your expectations and you're not able to work it out, then where do you go from there? So I'm a firm believer that if it's a true friend and it's not something that falls outside your standards and you can work it out, then I think friendship is so important, because the opposite of that for me is loneliness. And I think we all need friends in our lives. We know a lot of us say friends are better than pocket money, is a saying that a lot of Caribbean people say. And it's so true, because loneliness leads to a lot of different things: depression, anxiety, and health issues. So it's important for us to have friends. But for me, choosing the right friends and pulling them close to you, honoring them, respecting them, and being there for them, and a lot of the things that we discussed tonight are truly important for friendships. So we thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Caribbean Edge, and we look forward to seeing your comments throughout this show. Remember to share with all your friends as well, and we'll go in and respond to the comments as best we can. So thanks. This is our point of view on friendship, so we want to hear yours.
Guys, we also want to apologize for starting a little bit late this evening. We're still having a little bit of technical difficulties, and that brings me to the point where we are searching for sponsorship so that we can get better equipment, so that we can serve you better, so that if any one of you have anyone who's willing to help us out in regards to investments and sponsorship, we would be eternally grateful.
And remember, this is your Caribbean show, your talk show, the first real Caribbean talk show, which we're so proud of have this forum for all of us and for you.
For sure.
So thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.